Are you worried about the purge?
No.
Are you worried about the apocalypse?
No.
Natural disasters?
Not at all.
Nothing? Solar flares. Taking out the grid.
No. Every 20 years, it's a different group on the left, on the right, and they're like, the world's going to end. And he brings the receipts, and it never ends up happening. Because people are smart, some, and we have a huge asymmetry in wanting to stay alive. So the idea that the last of apocalypse, probably the Black Plague, I would say, would be the last apocalypse. We've been doing so good so far.
Yeah, you know that idea that people have always worried about the end of the world and it never happens?
Sure.
That's like saying, I've always worried about dying, but I never have. I'm not going to die.
I'm not going to die. I'm not going to be there.
Die. You're going to die.
But I'm not going to be there.
How do you know?
What do you mean?
How do you know? You're not going to be there.
I mean, that's what dying means.
Oh, you're not going to be there when you die,
right.
So you're not going to die.
Right. I'm not going to experience
You're
death.
alive or you're not, so don't even worry about it. Because when it's over, you won't be here, so who cares?
I wouldn't say who cares, but I mean, if your entire life is focusing on, avoiding death, that's a very bad mindset.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is that I think people are operating with a very small historical timeline.
Sure.
And the more I talk to people like Graham Hancock, who describe the overwhelming evidence that something pretty severe happened to the human race around 12,800 years ago.
Sure.
Most likely comet impact or something along those lines. Other people think that it was actually a solar mass coronal ejection that made lightning storms, like rainstorms.
Okay.
Lightning was coming down like rain all over the world and just killed everything. And this thing could happen easily at any time.
Not easily.
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, comet impact or asteroid impact, easily.
If it easily or not easily in terms of likelihood, because if it would happen easily in terms of likelihood, it would have happened by now.
No, it has happened. There's a lot of evidence that it's happened. It's just we're dealing with a small timeline. The idea is, could you get lucky and it won't happen in the next 60 years or so while you're alive? Yeah, it could happen, or it could hit tomorrow. That could happen too.
Okay, I'll take that bet.
It's a good bet.
But
I mean, it's good. Look, your perspective is good. It's good to not worry, to not look at life
Also, because
like
when you don't have power,
yeah.
If you don't have the power to affect the comet, as I personally,
What do you think is the next big breakthrough that's going to change in terms of like how technology and people get along? You think it's going to be a robot sex doll?
No, I think home assistance, like having a robot be your home base, like computer. I don't know, like these Alexas and all, like Apple's about to release theirs and Google has released theirs. And
Have you seen the autonomous robots that monitor parking lots?
No,
Yeah, I tweeted it, I think yesterday.
but definitely robots.
We're going to give up our security and all our privacy at the same time. We're going to be fine because the robot's going to be watching us.
Keep an eye on me, robot.
There's going to be zero privacy. Zero. It's real close.
It's already there.
But I mean real close to not just regular zero privacy, but like no one ever has a moment alone ever. It doesn't exist anymore. Like it'll slowly erode, and then you go into the mountains, then they'll put cell phone towers out there, and then that's gonna be it. Whatever the technology is, it's gonna be, you're gonna know where everyone is at any moment, and we're gonna really get to know each other. I mean, it's become accelerated. Like I'm more nervous every year when it comes to technology, because I'm not nervous in the way that I think it's totally 100% negative, but nervous in the way like it just seems to me that we might be in the middle of something and not be paying attention. Like that it's happening so fucking fast that we're caught up in it, and it's just this wild wave of change, and I'm just trying to make sense of it while it's happening. But then there's something about like numbers. Like I used to think that saying like the year 2017, 2000, it's stupid. Who cares what year it is? It's all just now. But no, there's like a way we feel about it differently. Like you go, it's fucking 2018, dude. It's like you have a feeling about you now. It's like we're very, very far ahead in this game. This is the future. 2018, that's a crazy number. Hey man, it's 1979. Nope, it's 2018. Whoa. So weird. And when does this thing, like, if you had to guess, how much longer does the human race have?
6 months. It seems like it.
No, if you really had to guess, we're not going to be here forever, right? So we're not going to be here 100,000 years from now or 200,000 years from now. We're just not.
I started listening to the audiobook of Sapiens,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's what it's getting to. That question you're asking. 'Cause
Yeah.
The first couple chapters are leading up to like, He says it over and over again, like thousands of years from now, maybe 2,000 is what it's saying, that the human race won't be, or human beings won't be what we are today. We'll be another evolution of whatever that is, because off of Australopithecus.
Yeah, Australopithecus. See if you find any good pictures of that thing. I mean, that's just what they think. They think that's what started it. That was when it was like fairly distinctly human. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna go to some new thing. There it is. Look at that thing. I mean, that's so close. It's like a walking upright chimpanzee. And then that got smarter, and that got smarter, and things kept going. But the thing that really fucks you up is it's not that long ago. Like, I think Australopithecus was less than 2 million years, right? And then there's modern Homo sapiens, which I think they think are somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 500,000 years old. They keep moving it around a little bit when they find some new dead guy. They find some new bones, and they're like, oh, this one's older. They're kind of guessing. I want to say they're in the neighborhood of 300,000. That ain't shit. Dude, that ain't shit. That just happened. If that's when they really started, that just happened. So you're talking about 300,000 years from now? Ooh.
That's crazy.
We're going to be made out of gas. We're going to be like those fires that are on petroleum. We won't be able to see us. Our intelligence will be all pervasive. We'll have one operating system that we share with Mother Earth. They'll plug it into our brains. We'll plug into the ground. We'll become divine. How about that? No?
I don't know.
No one's. That's how high I am. You're like, let him go. Just let him. He'll come back.
Well, I always wonder what they thought about this 200 years ago, 150 years ago. What they thought. I feel like they thought that the world was going to end too back then.
Yeah.
Like they were probably
everybody's always
25
thought
years away from it ending.
Sure. I mean, anytime anything, especially back when there was no media, anytime anything catastrophic happened in your area, you thought that was going to be the end.
The moon was made of cheese.
It's really weird how recent that was. That's what's weird. When you just think about hundreds of thousands of years, it seems like a long ass time. But it's not when you talk about the shape of human beings and what's happened in that amount of time, especially in the last few hundred or few thousand years. Just all you need is sick. If you want to like really impress the shit out of people, give me 10,000 years. 10,000 years ago and 10,000 years now. You're like, wah! You'd freak out. There's no other time in history that would be the case. Like every other time in history, 10,000 years would be like, whoa, oh, they figured out how to make cooler houses. Like, whoa, oh, he's riding an elephant. How do you figure that out? Like, whoa, oh, that bow and arrow is way better than my bow and arrow. Every 10,000 years, it's no big deal. And then all of a sudden, one 10,000 year period, and you have everything. You got the pyramids, you got space travel, you've got the internet, you got video, photography, 3D printers.
Pops in my head the end of Gangs of New York, where it shows that montage of the 100 years or so of New York changing. And I just think about how that's only 100 years, and New York changed from this crazy nothingness, even though it's really big then, to like tons of skyscrapers and bridges and all of what it is today. And it wasn't anything close to that back then, and that's like 100 years, and you're talking about 10,000. And that's so much more time compared to 100.
Yeah, that's an amazing montage. Time lapse. What would you call that?
Yeah, it's time lapse.
Look at that. That's incredible. New York City's a freak out, man. And even more crazy. Look at that. It keeps going.
Yeah, that's even bigger now.
Oh my God.
Twin Towers aren't there.
Yeah, New York City is a genuine freak out. Unless you've been, you should go. If you've been and you get it, you're like, yeah, it's nuts, I love going. But if you haven't been, it's a paradigm shifter because you realize that it's possible.